After skipping a couple of days, I didn't have any time. So let's just get right into this. Chapter 21, Hokage. The four shinobi and a pig have been allowed to live where returning to their home village. If you don't know who they are, then you haven't been listening to the story. Look like I'm back. It looks like I'm back, Konha Tsunade spoke in a nostalgic tone. They made their way to the entrance. Name, they asked. Jiraiya and Naruto returning from a mission, Jiraiya stated. What mission? Retrieving Tsunade of the Sunning. Hey shithead, a lovely voice called. Where have you been? Tayuya's Heim. Naruto called. I've missed you. Tsunade watched with interest as Naruto shared a kiss with a foul-mouthed girl. Between the kiss, Naruto asked if she had any trouble from the sound. Tayuya proceeded to curse a storm at Naruto for letting Orochimaru get away. She was one of his elite guards. Naruto thought to himself. After they had their fill, they separated. Tayuya took notice of the others. Who the hell are they? She asked. This is Jiraiya. Hello, lovely lady, Jiraiya spoke. How would you like to? It's Jiraiya, a voice spoke. It's Jiraiya, a voice spoke, causing his blood to run cold. Let's show him our love. They began to brandish their weapons. Our tough love. The pervert ran as if the Shinigami was after him. Shinto and Tauntaun. Damn, a pig, Tayuya stated. How come you haven't eaten it yet? I tried, he admitted. Tayuya gave the pig a hard stare. You've survived his hunger. You don't know how lucky you are. She threatened the pig. This is Tsunade, our new Hokage. Naruto finished the greeting. She got bigger tits than melon tits, Tuyaya exclaimed. 106 centimeters to be exact, a certain pervert exclaimed from a distance. Oh, Kami, not my... Where is Samuelheim and Cubeheim? Naruto asked. Melon Tits is an ambassador, Tayuya stated. She doesn't need to be heading home every now and again, she explained. And Fuzzy is training those foxes. Huh? He stated. What, I'm not good enough company for you? Tayuya asked. Of course you are, Naruto quickly spoke. You're my Heim, but so are they. He saw her look. I love you each equally. I have no favorites. Then take me out, Tayuya ordered. Tonight. Can I join? Tsunade asked. Hey, monster tits, Tayuya shouted. Why do you think you... Tayuya Heim, meet Tsunade Heim. Naruto cut her off with the introduction. Nice to meet you, Tsunade. Be ready at 7. She turned back to Naruto. I want sake. I like her already, Naruto, Tayuya stated. Naruto stood in front of his Hokage, Hiruzen. The aged Hokage would be stepping down, but until then, he had a few headaches to deal with. One big one was Naruto after a mission. You met two S-rank rogues. I was minding my own business. Bullshit. They came to me. Challenged one to a genjutsu match. I had to keep the damages low. Knock. Uchiha Sasuke unconscious. Gave Guy a tortoise to strip and said Uchiha to leave him with his fangirls. He had to suppress a shrug. Punishment, Naruto said. You then made a deal with a former broken woman, that would have decided the fate of the village. Yup. You know what? No. Just go to your Heims. Bye. Naruto was in a good mood. He had a new Heim, which he was taking out later. The Hokage would finally get to retire as he should have. Hey pup, a familiar voice called. He turned and saw the Inuzuka clan head standing in front of him. Hello, Tsunade, Tatsumi-chan, Naruto greeted. How can I help you? While I was about to go get some, she paused, looked around. Delicious and amazing ramen. Tsunade. Tatsumi gave a nod and Naruto understood the ramen was near. He couldn't sense it with chakra, but he knew the ramen monster was always watching and always waiting. Yes, Naruto agreed. Let's get some mouth-watering ramen. After a bowl for Tatsumi and the 8th bowl for Naruto, he needed to save some room for his dessert. They talked. The topic was the same as always, his mother. When they finished, Naruto decided to drop her off at her clan compound. I have something for you, Tatsumi spoke. Tatsumi had his full attention. Since she rarely used his name, so it meant it was important. She handed him a heart-shaped necklace. He exclaimed it in confusion. He exclaimed in a confused manner. What is it? He asked. Open it, pup. Naruto did and was greeted with an unexpected sight. He saw a beautiful, bright red-haired woman looking back at him. She had deep blue eyes that stared lovingly at him, and flawless fair skin. Naruto had never seen this woman before, but he knew who she was. Kushina Uzumaki, his mother. Naruto didn't know what to say. He didn't need to imagine anymore. He could finally see what his mother looked like. He was so overcome with emotion, he grabbed Tatsumi and pulled her into a hug. Tatsuma was shocked, but understood. She pulled him into a tighter embrace. Thank you, Tatsuma-chan, Naruto said through tears. How can I ever repay you? This time she pushed away and averted her gaze. Naruto, do you remember what you did to the Hokage? She asked. Naruto immediately understood. Who do you want to see? He asked. Or who would you like? What would you like to experience? I have had a mate, she admitted, stuttering. But I feel like I'm forgetting him with each passing moment. She gave Naruto a desperate look. Uzunaka choose our mates carefully and for life. He was he was one he was your one and only, Naruto spoke in a semi-understanding tone. What happened to him? I told the kids that I ran away from him, she shamefully admitted. But that's not the truth. He died in the QB attack. She paused, making sure Naruto wasn't uncomfortable. Since we Izuna are life mates, I had a long time of isolation. Relax, Naruto smoothed as he removed his blindfold and gazed deeply into her eyes. What do you want? I want to remember my mate. She blushed before adding, I want you to use your eyes on me. She stated seriously, to make me forget the pain of losing my mate, just for a little while. Naruto never thought he'll get a request like that in his life. Everything pointed to him getting the exact opposite. But he understood the pain. No, he answered. Instead, let me treat you out like a friend. But if you don't enjoy yourself, then I'll use my eyes. Tsunade was a little hesitant, but agreed. Naruto gathered his heims minus Samuel and Tatsuma, but after a bit of discussion and cursing, he decided to take them to a bar. Not the one bar he had taken Uncle to. He could tell she wasn't in a mile radius. The diner was actually open very recent. Lucky it had a bar. The occupants had taken one look at Naruto and kept a 10 feet distance from his dates. The rumor of Naruto's last visit bar had been spread like wildfire. Why the cold shoulder? Tatsuma asked. I had a date in a bar with Uncle once, Naruto answered. It ended in a bar fight. Everything was shattered after as well, a voice spoke from behind. Who the hell are you? Tayuya asked. The owner, he answered. Get us some damn sake, then, Tayuya ordered. I am not the owner, I am a bartender, he retorted before turning to Naruto. Don't wreck anything. No promises, Naruto returned, causing the man to storm off, mumbling about insurance. Shall we take a seat? The QB asked. They had taken a seat in a booth opposite of the bar. The night had been relatively simple but very pleasant. Naruto did his best to give Tayuya what she wanted and seemed to be succeeding. Tayuya, Naruto spoke. There is something I want to talk about. Oh, Kami, this is it, Tayuya spoke in a uncharacteristically meek tone. What is it? Naruto asked. You're breaking up with me, aren't you? She asked, standing up. You want a divorce? What? No, Naruto answered hastily. You're replacing me with the mother of monster tits and this wolf bitch. She started. That's it, isn't it? Tatsuma cut him off by a punch from Tayuya. The blow knocked her back out of her seat. You brought me to this damn bar so I wouldn't make a fucking scene. Tayuya grabbed the nearest stool, which happened to be occupied. by a customer. Well, I'll make a fucking scene. She raised the stool high into the air. Tayuya Haim, Naruto spoke in a tone that his Haim had never heard before. I'm not breaking up with you. In fact, it's the opposite. Oh, she spoke, embarrassed. Why do you think I was about to break up with you? Naruto asked. Because I don't have a pretty face, she mumbled, or large tits, Tayuya. The other girl spoke sympathetically. You know Naruto doesn't care about that. Tayuya looked away in shame before answering in a weak voice. I know. Excuse me, a terrified voice called. I don't mean to be interrupting, but could you let me down? They turned to the voice to find a man on the stool. The stool Tayuya was wielding. She said nothing as she tossed the stool and him aside. Ah, my leg. Who told you that you don't have a pretty face? Naruto asked. You're beautiful. Tayuya said nothing. She didn't need to hear. Her eyes wandered to the man at the bar leering at his Heims, minus her. So that was it. She was jealous. Naruto stood and walked toward the bar. He ordered the strongest, most expensive sake they owned. I'm so disappointed in you, Naruto spoke. You'll let the other ones who called me a demon get to you. He looked at the ground. Most of these people are simple maggots. He gave the occupants a glare. They eye women as if they were pieces of meat to be eaten and throw away the scraps. He stared straight at her. Do you want to be treated like that? No, she whispered. Then don't let them affect you. He gave his Haim a loving look. You are all beautiful in my eyes. Thank you, shithead, Tayuya spoke. Now, Naruto shouted in a cheery tone. Let's try to get drunk and watch me fail at it. Tasuma had to admit she had a good evening. Naruto gave her what she wanted, the absence of a broken heart. Naruto had treated her as if she was one of his Heims. But all too soon it came to an end. They were all once again in front of Tasuma's clan house. This time the Heims were standing a bit away so Tasuma could talk to him in private. I had a great evening, pup, Tasuma spoke. Thanks. You're welcome, Naruto spoke. I'm sorry if it got awkward with my Heims. He looked towards her cheek and punched it. No problem, she waved it off. Honestly, I'm glad I tried your way, she admitted. I would hate myself if I forgot my mate even for a second. She paused as she rubbed her cheek. Tayuya can throw a mean punch. Tasuma pulled Naruto into a tight hug and Mom, dope. Naruto turned to see both Kiba and Hana staring at the pair. Kiba had a look of anger and disgust. Hana had a look of anger and betrayal. Hello, Kiba and Hana, Naruto greeted. Don't hello us, dope, Kiba shouted. Mom, Hana shouted again. What are you doing with Naruto? Are you seeing him? She looked at their positions. You aren't you? She accused. Why? Tasuma asked, causing Hana to freeze up in confusion. Why what? Hana asked. Why do you care if I see Naruto? Tasuma asked calmly. Hana tried to give a reply but flattered on her tongue. It didn't help that her mother was giving her the mom look when caught trying to lie. The one that pierces every nerve. Naruto, Tasuma spoke, not taking her eyes off Hana. Thank you for the evening, but no need to say it, Naruto spoke. Same time tomorrow at Ichiraku. Yes. They had walked from the Izunaka in a tense silence. Tsunade didn't know why, but she fell out of the loop. Naruto, Tasuna spoke. Who was that? Hana Izunaka. Naruto answered in an unusual tone. Tasuma's daughter. Why do you seem so off? Tsunade asked, never noticing the Kyuubi and Yuya trying to warn her. That is another story for another night. Are you planning on making Tasuma your Heim? The Kyuubi asked quickly. Nah, Naruto answered. She's just a good friend. Hello, Naruto, a lazy voice called. Lovely in evening to stroll on the road of life. What the hell do you want, Kakashi? To Yuya asked. Sasuke and I, Naruto, a voice called. I have such youthful news. It was Guy. Leaves in a door voice. Everyone stated in a monotone. Sorry, Guy spoke sheepishly. They're coming. The eggs are coming. What eggs? Kakashi asked calmly. The ones Gut and Grit will have, Guy answered. Gut? Grit? Toya asked. What the hell kind of names are that? Lee's turtle? No, Kakashi whispered. And my tortoise? No, it was louder. Will have youthful eggs. How the hell is that possible? Naruto asked. Their shells shouldn't allow that. The blonde paused to think. Wait, I just gave you that tortoise. True, Guy agreed. Their shells did get in the way. He seemed upset over it. But when Lee and I saw their determination, we knew we had to help spread the don't say it, Kakashi ordered. I'm warning you, he shouted. The youth. Ah, Kakashi shouted. Lee and I saw their devotion to each other and we aided them. How could we not help them show each other off their love? There were tears of joy in Guy's eyes. Naruto, we would like you to be their godfather. Guy, wait, I am your rival, Kakashi stated. Shouldn't I be the godfather? Your flames of youth went out, Guy stated in a tone most didn't know he was capable of. I would be honored, Naruto spoke cheerfully. Good, Guy cheered. Lee is guarding them, so will you help me make a safe place for the eggs? He turned to his Heims. Go ahead, they spoke. The two were off in a flash. Wait, Guy, Kakashi ran after them. Now that he is gone, Tsunade spoke. I want the truth about Hana, she ordered. And any others. They were, the Kyuubi asked. It all started on a shitty day, Tayuya answered. Time skipped to after the story finished. Tsunade to after the explanation. Tsunade was pissed. No, that was an understatement. She had a feeling of rage that couldn't be measured by normal standards. Tsunade had finally gotten the answer she wanted. Tayuya and QB, all of it. That includes the former Heims. Those hussies, she would have her revenge. No one messes with my man, but that would have to wait. The citizens of Konoha, both shinobi and civilians alike, were gathered. They stood in a crowd around the center of the village looking up to a balcony. On that balcony was the Hokage making a public announcement. Citizens of Konoha, Sarutobi spoke, I am finally retiring as Hokage. There was a lot of protest to the aged shinobi. Now, I leave you in good hands. There was a round of applause. He motioned towards the entrance of the balcony. Out stepped Naruto in full glory, a shit-eating smile on his face. A cold silence fell over the entire village. We're all going to die, someone spoke. Quickly, another shouted, kill yourselves while you have the chance. I'm not senseless enough to leave Naruto in charge. Yet the aged shinobi thought. Citizens of Konoha, Sarutobi shouted, I give you your 6th Hokage. Tsunade Senju, Naruto shouted. Tsunade stepped out onto the balcony in full Hokage robes. There was another round of applause for the new village leader. One of the civilians, a council member, spoke. Should we really make her our leader? He asked, silencing the crowd. She abandoned the village and became a wandering drunk gambler. Many seemed to consider his idea. Plus, she is so old and... He went silent. Everyone was staring at no one was beside him. Where Naruto stood, they made eye contact. The man felt himself become stiff. His skin became tough like bark, and his bones felt as brittle as branches on a tree, and the very blood in his body became thick and slowed as if it was trapped in small veins. Naruto had turned another person into a tree. Anyone else has a question for my Heim? Naruto asked, looking at the crowd. The crowd has returned to his Heim's side. Questions? Who's questioning? Not us. Shut up and take our ramen. The citizens had learned one thing about Naruto. His Heims were his life. Messing with them and you were lucky to die with your sanity intact. Well, citizens, Sarutobi spoke again. I assure you that Tsunade is a changed person. He looked at the expecting faces. I expect her to be an ever better Hokage than me. Naruto stepped forward. How many of you actually think Tsunade is old? He asked. Just give a show of hands. No one made any movements. How many of you aren't answering because you think I'll punish you? A forest of hands. A forest of hands. Well, we'll have to fix that, Naruto stated. He walked to Tsunade and dropped his blindfold. He lowered the new Hokage and delivered a passionate kiss that made her legs wobble, and his former Heims were jealous. When he finished, he stood back. Please drop your illusion, Naruto requested. What? Tsunade asked in shock. Trust me, he pleaded. Tsunade couldn't turn him down when he was using that look. Fine, she grumbled. But don't complain when you see how unfine your wine is. Tsunade dropped her genjutsu and stared at Naruto. She had expected him to have a look of shock, or disgust on his face. All she saw was a constant loving gaze. Still fine to me, Naruto stated honestly. That's sweet, Naruto, Tsunade spoke in relief. But look at all these wrinkles. What wrinkles? Sarutobi asked. Naruto drew both of his swords and held them together. Thanks to all the care he had given, thanks to all the care he has given to them, they were polished to perfection. Tsunade could see her reflection and she was shocked. I thought I released the disguise, she thought. She tried again and again and again. Why won't it release? After several more tries, she gave up and looked towards Naruto with a smug smile. What is it? She noticed Sarutobi as well. My hedge jutsu is real, he spoke. Placing it on another is child's play, he goaded. This is my gift to you, Tsunade, Naruto spoke, for the village, and hidden in the leaves, he shouted to the masses below. I give you Tsunade Senju in her prime. The roaring cheers could be heard all the way to Kumo. He's given me a second chance, she thought. There was so much he could do now without limit. Things she could enjoy once again, make up for missing opportunities to fix old mistakes. What are you going to do now? Sarutobi asked. She looked towards Naruto. My room now. You all know what's about to happen. You called for me, Hokage-sama, Naruto chuckled. Yes, she answered. If this doesn't make me one of your favorites, nothing will. I have something for you, Naruto, she spoke, handing him a scroll. I'm sure you'll love it. Of course I will, Naruto stated with a smile as he began reading it. Any gift from my Heim is... Well, Tsunade spoke with a smug grin. How is it? There was one thing Tsunade knew about Naruto and his sweet Heims. What she didn't know was that he was a crazy bastard. All she had seen of him was strength and devotion, never his madness. I hope you guys remember that laugh. It was Tsunade's first time hearing it, and she knew someone is screwed, hard and deep. If you guys comment down below and guess it correctly, I'll like it and pin it. The first one to comment what's in that scroll will get a pinned comment. Hopefully you guys don't read ahead, but yeah. Okay. Sorry for all the pauses. It's hard to find time. Alright, so that's the end of chapter 21, part 21. Thanks for listening or watching.